Are you ready? Let's go. Hi, hello. It is me, it's Janine. There is no Kaylin here once again, unfortunately. You just get my face again, but that's okay. I have a super long overdue video for today, which is the trip I took to Boston, like how many months ago? How long ago was that? I can check. In May. October? It's October, right? It's October?
No, it's September.
Today's September. It is September. So that was 4 months ago. It's been a long time. We went in May for Jason's graduation, and I just am so good at procrastinating, so I just haven't made like travel video for it yet. So this was like at least 3 hair colors ago and like 4 months ago. So it's fine. Better late than never, I guess, whatever. So I'm just gonna kind of go through our trip bit by bit and tell you kind of where we went. We went to a lot of like cool historical sites. We went to a lot of cool cemeteries. We went to Salem, which was awesome. So yeah, I guess that's just what this video is gonna be today. A little bit of a travel vlog, you know, not in our studio or anything. So, be good, little bean. Okay? We'll see you in a few days. She's like, I'm not camera ready. Our Airbnb was super cute. We had a really nice like little view of the square that was outside. The first place we went was the Boston Commons and the graveyard that's in Boston Commons, and it was absolutely gorgeous. The time we went, it was beautiful. So it was like sunny and gorgeous, and I'm just gonna say gorgeous and beautiful a whole lot this video probably because that's just exactly what everything was. So we went to the Boston Commons, and it's really interesting because the graveyard, it's like in the middle of this whole square, so there's buildings everywhere, like these big tall buildings, like it's in the middle of town, and then there's just like this graveyard with like super old tombstones, like very Scooby-Doo typical gravestones, but they're gorgeous. And so we walked around there a little bit, and then we walked around the commons and the park itself, and there's a lot of really cool, I mean, you can just see all the architecture around town, some gorgeous huge oak trees, and a lot of really cool memorials, and actually the site of where the Great Elm was, which was one of the big, like one of the 3 huge hanging trees during some of the witch trials, not specifically the Salem witch trials, but the witch trials that happened in Boston, where like dozens of people were hung on. All it is just this little plaque in the ground, which was kind of funny to me. I would have thought that there would have been more of a memorial there because of all the lives that were lost during the witch trials. But just a little plaque, but it was still really pretty, so we got to see that kind of area. And then this is Jason graduating. You can see me not follow him. I don't even know where he is now as I look at it. I missed him as he walked by the first time. I didn't see him until his back was already turned to us. Oops.
Jason Bench.
Yeah! So the next day we actually went to Salem. Is it safe to assume everyone here is a witch?
Probably.
Excuse me, little pup.
Are
you a witch? The park that's like right in the middle of Salem, right outside of the Salem Witch Museum. They have also this memorial for the World War II, and it dedicated to the people who served in it. So that's really awesome. And then right outside the Salem Witch Museum, there is a statue of Roger Conant, which you'd think he was part of the witch trials or something because it's right outside the museum, but he was actually just the founder of Salem. Next, we went to the actual Salem Witch Museum, which was really, really cool. We weren't allowed to take pictures or film in there, unfortunately, so I didn't do that, but you can see me being a dumb tourist outside. It was really cool. They went over all of the history of the Salem witch trials and all the tragedy that happened there, as well as modern day witches and Wiccans, which was really cool, just some like information on them. And this was us just walking around some of like the kind of downtown Salem area. They had a lot of really cute shops. We kind of came a little bit late in the day, so a lot of them were closed, but it was nice to walk around anyway. You can see these like really cool brick streets and brick buildings, and of course there was all kinds of like haunted nonsense tours. We didn't go to any of those, but Jason did buy a really cool wand. It was handmade, he says. Thank you. It was a really cool wand. He keeps it on his desk in his studio. You wanna go get it? Yeah, go get it. Got it? Okay, this is his wand. It's actually a really cool wand. Why Not Swans in Salem, Massachusetts. It comes in its own little box. Is this an unboxing? Maybe. Is that who I am now? Maybe. But they had a lot of really, really cool, interesting wands there, and the lady there was so sweet. The lady who worked there, who I guess owned it, I don't know, but she as soon as we walked in, she goes, "Ah, fellow Ravenclaw," to Jason, which she's a Ravenclaw. So I was like, she knows! It's pretty. It's a wand. 10 out of 10. Why Not Swans? Salem, Massachusetts. Not spawns. So, moving on to more places in Salem, we went to the Burying Point, which it was the oldest burying ground in the city of Salem since 1637. Captain Richard Moore, who was a Mayflower passenger, is buried there. So is Justice John Hawthorne of the Witchcraft Court. Here are some of the headstones I think of Hawthorne and his family. We had a hard time finding them and identifying them because a lot of the headstones are so worn down that it's kind of hard a little bit to tell. And then we went to the Salem Witch Trials Memorial, which was absolutely one of the best things on the trip, one of my favorite things that we did on the trip. A gorgeous memorial, and we walked around and spent a lot of time in it. But as you walk around, you can see there's little stones that have all of the victims of the Salem witch trials written on them. And people would come and put fresh flowers on each of them every day, and that was just absolutely gorgeous. A lot of the quote-unquote witches, the people who were executed and killed in the witch trials, I don't think they know where really any of their bodies were buried, so they don't really have any headstones or anything, like any graves, because they thought they were witches, whatever. So there weren't any graves for them, but the memorial is very gorgeous. If you're in Boston, I definitely recommend taking the trip to Salem to see it. If you want to know more about the witch trials, by the way, because I'm not really going to go into it, but our girl B over at True Crime 365 just started a new podcast called Salem, all about the Salem witch trials. So it's really interesting and really cool, and you should look it up so I don't have to explain it. And so after that, we went back into Boston and we walked around the Freedom Trail. And so this is the Old North Church, where Paul Revere, what are the words? Twice if...
One if by land, two if by sea, and it was by sea, so there was two lands.
Okay. One if by land, two if by sea, where Paul Revere and his Knight Riders, the lanterns and the, you know, people know this, right? The lanterns and... Okay, that's right. So this is not the exact side of the Boston Massacre because it was like on the other side of the car and I didn't get a good shot of it, but this is the kind of courtyard right outside where the Boston Massacre happened. After that, I think we just went shopping. This was some cool shots from Quincy Street. Okay, so after that we kind of followed the Freedom Trail a little bit more, and we went to, this is King's Chapel. In my notes I accidentally put Kong's Chapel, and I'm like, King Kong? No? King's Chapel, excuse me. And the King Chapel Burying Grounds, which is another cemetery. But you can see it has a bunch of the really cool gravestones in them. And then we went to the Granary Burying Ground. John Hancock was buried there, so was Samuel Adams. Signers of the Declaration of Independence, some governors were buried there. Josiah Franklin and his wife, which were Benjamin Franklin's parents, were buried there. Paul Revere, John Phillips is buried there. This was a very huge burial ground, literally just right in the middle of the city. You can see a lot of them are built kind of into the walls and the brick.
John Hancock's actually, or not John Hancock, Paul Revere is actually the person in the picture on Samuel Adams' beard. Everyone would think it'd be Samuel Adams, but it's actually Paul Revere, because Paul Revere was apparently a lot more handsome.
Cemetery fun fact.
Yep.
Then after that, we... Pearl. Mitsuha. Hey. Stop it. Sorry. We headed back that day. We went back towards the Quincy kind of shopping areas, and we ate at this Wagamama place, which had really good curry. It was really yummy. And after that, we headed back home, and that was pretty much our entire trip. You can see a few more stereotypical vlogger things, but I was really tired, so I didn't do as much as I did whenever we were on our way.
Oh. Hi, Pearl.
Well, okay. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It was very, very long overdue, and I'm sorry about that. But I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Follow us on all the things. Follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're also on Tumblr and Reddit. I guess if you do that, I don't know if you do, whoever does those things anymore. I don't know. But I think that's it. Okay. Well, we love you guys so much, and I hope you don't hate my face too much. I hope you don't miss Caitlin too much like I do, but that's okay. We love you so much, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!